tattoo liner is still one of our #1 products from the Kat Von D beauty line, and we just came up on our 5-year anniversary. I sat around with my team going like, how could we celebrate a 5-year anniversary, which is an amazing thing. To me, it was important that we make it worthwhile. Having worked with the California Wildlife Center, it just made so much sense. We will be donating $1 of each sale, so the ultimate goal will be to raise $100,000 to give to the California Wildlife Center. I didn't really know much about the California Wildlife Center until I went down there, and of course these animals are really cute, but what really struck me the most from my first initial visit to the Wildlife Center was that they're in so much need of support, not just financially, but with volunteers and stuff, and I just right away was like, where do I sign up? Dr. Tom was the one who showed me around. You know, he was clearly the most knowledgeable because he's the head vet there. And I quickly learned that he hasn't had a day off in so long, and my heart went out to him, but at the same time I'm like, man, that's what heroes are made up of. There has not been one day that I have volunteered that Dr. Tom isn't there. So it's pretty awesome to see that, but at the same time it's heart-wrenching to know that that's just one person, and he can't physically do it all by himself.
My name is Dwayne Time. I'm the veterinarian here at the California Wildlife Center. I've been here for about 8.5 years now. I oversee all the medical care of all the patients that we get here, as well as making sure that they have the best chance to get back into the wild. The reason why I decided to do wildlife medicine in the first place was because people would bring animals in, but they really had no place to go because there wasn't a medical facility where they could treat these animals. And because they were almost always due to human interaction, I felt it's a responsibility that we need to take upon ourselves to, try to correct what was done to them. We see all native California wildlife. The past few years, we started doing marine mammals. We do both elephant seals and sea lions at our facility. Right now, we have about 350 patients on site. Every year, we see somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 patients. Sometimes we get the baby animals, and so then we have to raise, all the way until they can support themselves. The birds, they have to be flying well. They have to show that they can eat their prey very well. As far as the marine mammals go, we get them as orphans also, and so they were stranded on the beach, malnourished. Now they have a second chance, and they're a little bit older, and so they have hopefully a little bit more effective in catching their fish.
My first day volunteering, I worked with the marine mammals. They come in when they're babies, so they haven't even eaten fish yet. They're basically at the point in their life where they're weaning off their mother's milk, and so the process in the beginning stages is always, to me, so delicate. Even though these animals are super strong and could totally bite my face off if I let them, they're totally scared, they're totally malnourished and hungry and confused. The first time that I learned how to jump a baby elephant seal and do the tubing was traumatizing for me, because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hurt this animal. When they're in that critical stage when they need these certain nutrients they don't know how to eat yet, this is a really big help in order to get them rehabilitated and ready to go back into the wild.
From there, we start feeding in the pools, and once they're eating on their own, then they go into the big pool, where all we have to do is throw the fish in there, and they dive, and they have to sort of compete and show us that, if there's other animals in there with them, that they can catch enough fish in order to survive. And at that point, once they can show us they can do that and they gain weight, they don't show any human interest or something, they just want to eat the fish all the time, then we know that they're ready to go.
We all kind of named this one particular baby elephant seal Squinty because he had an infection in his eye, and so obviously you could tell them apart much easier. But I remember when Squinty came in and Dr. Tom was like, I'm not sure what the chances are of this one making it, So secretly I kind of made this little prayer, like, I really hope Squinty makes it. Being able to, see the process, the healing process, and the rehabilitation is really amazing. One of the other personal favorite underdogs for me was one that we nicknamed Humpty, and it was because he had a deformity in his spine, and I remember seeing the x-rays and asking Dr. Tom if, what the likelihood of of Humpty making it back, and he was quite unsure, but there was a chance that it would start straightening out, and sure enough, out of the several that we released, Humpty was healthiest. When it comes to sharing an experience like this with somebody, it's really special. I honestly just wanted to give everybody a hug and just say thanks for letting me be a part of this. You know, I know they do it all day, every day, all the time, and I don't think the luster has worn for them. But for me, it was something quite special, and life-changing is a good way of describing it. And so I think all I could really say to that team is thank you for letting me be a part of it.
I always think it would be a good thing for us to be out of a job. And if people could learn to, not just coexist with the animals, but, not to do anything malicious and be careful with things, we could decrease the amount of animals that we get in here. And even if I was to be forced out of a job, I think it would actually be a good thing.
I just want to say thank you to any of my fans, any of my followers that have actually purchased the tattoo liner, because that means so much to me. Like, any support, not for me, but for the California Wildlife Center, it's the greatest gift that anybody could give me. So I just want to say thank you.